How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, you may have heard that there have been some conspiracy theories since the Trump versus Harris debate, put out by the Trump team, some even by Trump himself. One of them, of course, is that Harris received the questions in advance, which we knew that one was coming because he's thrown that one out there several times before with no evidence. The only evidence that, and I use that word loosely, evidence that he has to suggest that she received the questions in advance is that she debated circles around him. I mean, seriously, that is the only evidence. That hardly counts. Everybody knew what the questions were going to be. I knew what the questions were going to be. And if you've been following this kind of stuff, you knew what the questions were going to be. Let's be honest here. We knew there was going to be a question about Russia and Ukraine. We knew there was going to be a question about Gaza. We knew there was going to be a question about the economy, about taxes, Trump's plan for tariffs. We knew what the questions were going to be. We knew. Okay? And anybody who knows anything about this sort of thing knows what the questions are. May not know just exactly how they're going to be worded, but you know what they're going to be. And of course, this one, I'm actually kind of surprised that this theory didn't come up. Performance-enhancing drugs. We've heard that one before because he used that one against Hillary. We need to have drug tests. And, well, she was on a performance-enhancing drug. He did the same thing against Biden and, in 2020. And then earlier this year against Biden. Well, we need to do drug tests in advance. Well, if Biden was on drugs, they certainly weren't performance-enhancing, I tell you that. So, my favorite one, though. My favorite one. And it's been making the rounds even before Trump said anything about it. And keep in mind, this is something that Trump has used in the past. An earpiece. He's used that one against Hillary Clinton. Well, she's got an earpiece, somebody telling her what to say. He did the same thing with Biden. He's got an earpiece. Somebody is telling him what to say. And of course, you got to throw that one out there again, because Trump, he's just like, well, this band right here. You go to see them in concert. Well, you're not going to see them in concert anymore because they've retired. But when you went to see them in concert, what were you going to hear? The old hits. You know why? Because that's what everybody wants to hear. So he's playing that hit one more time. I mean, this may not be his rock and roll all night, but maybe it's his, Calling Dr. Love, that hit. But, she has an earpiece. An earpiece, huh? Really? The evidence this time was her earrings. She was wearing Tiffany earrings. They look like pearl. I think somebody said they were pearl earrings. And, I don't know, somebody shared a picture of something that kind of looks like earrings, but they're also, they double as like earbuds or earpieces or something like that. That look vaguely similar, but they do not look the same. They definitely look different. But really, she had an earpiece. I remember watching shows with my kids when they were young, that there would be something where, some kind of an event where somebody has to say something publicly, or, maybe it's a boy asking a girl out on a date or something, and he doesn't know just exactly how to do it. So there's somebody, over there, out of sight, saying something that's directed to an earpiece, and he repeats just exactly what is said, and what happens every time? He repeats literally everything the guy says, and the whole thing just falls apart. Well, did Harris fall apart? No. You know why? Because she is a skilled debater. Now, I know some people are going to throw out, well, let's take a look at 2020 when she was, or 2019 or whenever it was, when Tulsi Gabbard, knocked her out of that debate. Okay, well, that wasn't a one-on-one debate with Tulsi Gabbard. That was multiple candidates, Tulsi being one of them, and Kamala was probably focused more on Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren. More than likely, I would think so, because those are the best known names that were in that campaign. But again, I digress. Was she wearing an earpiece? Was somebody talking into her ear? Well, first of all, if they were, it kind of negates having the questions in advance, doesn't it? Why do you need the questions if you've got somebody off stage that is hearing the questions and telling you what to say? You don't even need to know the questions. But let's play along with this earpiece thing, right? Now think about this. Again, we're going to use this, silly kids show scenario or sitcom or whatever, because I've seen it in sitcoms before too. All right. So I'm making a video about the debate and how Kamala Harris had an earpiece so that she would. I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah, so that she had an earpiece so that she would know what to. No, that's not what it. See? I mean, the way I kind of hesitated between words. If somebody was feeding something into my ear, if somebody was feeding something into her ear, she would not have spoken so fluently. So fluidly, I guess. Fluently, whatever. Same thing. Either way. She would not have been just as on point as she was. There would have been some stuttering and some stammering and some pausing so that she could hear what was being said. And then inevitably, whoever was back there would have said, without muting, would have said something. Would you believe me if I told you that my wife is telling me just exactly what to say right now? I wouldn't, because, well, she didn't even really know what this video was going to be about, let alone which direction it was going to go. But, yeah, she did not have an earpiece. That's just silly. And face it, Donnie, you just got beat. I'll see you next time.